weather has been pretty foggy these days, and I hate it. Just how unpredictable as it gets, Canberran weather.
Blue light on the inside, which was really cool.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, it is the 2nd of June. It's a public holiday here in Canberra, and I thought of doing a very simple video about me just talking about my favorite items that I own and also what it is like to live alone. So yeah, it will be hopefully a very short video again. And before I move on with my video, I would like to thank everyone for supporting my YouTube and TikTok. And I'm very happy that both my YouTube and TikTok have been doing very well so far. I'm forever grateful. So please keep supporting and please subscribe if you haven't, because most of my viewers are unsubscribed. So please subscribe. Help me achieve my goal of reaching 1000 subscribers very soon. Let's move on with my video. I have made notes in my phone so that I don't miss out on stuff. Firstly, I'll talk about my fragrances. I love collecting perfumes. Although I love collecting perfumes, it's quite expensive, so I make sure to not buy them a lot and only buy the ones I really need. Currently, I own 2 perfumes. One is the Ralph Lauren Polo, I think it's called Royal Blue or Blue perfume, and I recently got this. It has a very subtle but rich scent. If you are wondering what perfume you should get next, especially for guys, this is the perfume to get, and it comes in all different sizes. This is the biggest one, I think, and I got it on a sale, so I'm very happy with this purchase. The other perfume that I own, which is almost finished, is this Dior Sauvage, I don't know how to say it. So I had this for a very long time. Actually, my dad bought it for me back in 2019. I remember asking him to get it for me when he was traveling. When you put it on, it feels strong, but after a few minutes, then the real scent starts kicking in. Now I can't afford to buy it because it's very expensive, but when my dad was there to buy it for me, I was so demanding. I asked him to get it for me no matter what, but now when I think of buying this perfume again, I have to give it a second thought because it's very expensive. So these 2 are my favorite perfumes and the ones that I keep going to. Transitioning from fragrances, I also love collecting candles. With candles, what's something that is not very good with me is, because candles aren't very expensive, I tend to collect it, and I have a couple of candles which I haven't used at all, and it's just sitting there. I just love collecting them because they also come in very cute and colorful glasses or containers. I'll just show you one which is my favorite and I haven't used it as well. So this one is called Essential Jar by Party Light. Like, see, it's such a very cute mint color, and it has a very, just like how your clothes smell after it has been washed. I really love how a washed clothes smell. So yeah, this is my favorite candle currently. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is completely unrelated. Recently I have been watching a podcast. The YouTube channel is called SciPod. They were talking about sleep paralysis, and I realized I have never experienced sleep paralysis. I have a lot of my cousins and my aunts and uncles who shared the experience of their sleep paralysis, and it always sounded very scary and something I wouldn't want to experience. But the more I hear about it, and it's always different for every person. So now I'm having the sense of feeling that I want to try it once. Just so that I'm not left out. I don't know if it's fear of missing out, but I don't have anything to share whenever they share their experience. So I don't know what they're talking about. I can't relate to them. Although I'm scared what I might see if I experience sleep paralysis, I am looking forward to it, and I want to experience it at least once, so that I know what it is and just what is it about. Maybe it's because I sleep very well. Ever since I came to Australia, my sleep has been really good and I never struggled with sleep, touch wood. So that's why I think I never experienced sleep paralysis. If you know the causes or what are the triggers for sleep paralysis, let me know in the comments, and also share your sleep paralysis demon in the comments if you have ever experienced. I really love horror movies and thrillers and that kind of movies. So I feel like my sleep paralysis demon would have to be really, really scary to actually be able to scare me, because I feel like I have seen enough. So share your sleep paralysis experience in the comments. I am looking forward to go through them. From the podcast, what I heard is sleep paralysis is very linked to Buddhism as well, because in Buddhism we always focus on mind, body and soul, and sleep paralysis, it also is linked to consciousness. And when we have gained full consciousness during our sleep but our body is still sleeping, that's when sleep paralysis happens, because your body is sleeping but your mind is awake. So that's what sleep paralysis is. Just like that in Buddhism as well, we always talk about the connection between our body, mind and soul. And when this connection is disrupted, there's always something unpleasant happening. To talk more about Buddhism, I have been reading a book on Buddhism. The title of the book is What Makes You Not a Buddhist? It's by Jamyang Khyentse. And this book was gifted to me by one of my colleagues, Madam Chuni, when I used to work in Bhutan. And it was signed by Rinpoche himself. And I really love this book. I haven't finished this book once, but I have read a couple of chapters again and again, because I feel like no matter how many times you read it, it always hits different in different situations. You might have known from my previous video that I live by myself. So I have picked up the habit of reading, and I think reading is one of the things that I do whenever I feel a little lonely, because I am then engaging my mind into something that is actually feeding my mind positive thoughts, or it is channeling my thoughts into a proper goal or a destination. So yeah, I really enjoy reading whenever I feel a little lonely. There's a particular section from this book that I really loved, and it has really helped me in some of the situations in my life as well. Whenever I feel a little low and I feel nothing good is happening in my life, this particular concept really helps me, and that is impermanence is good news. What it basically talks about is everything that we go through or experience is not permanent. Whether it's good or bad, it will not last forever, and it will cease to exist one way or the other. Here it says the concept of impermanence does not inherently mean negative or positive. It is simply part of the process of the compounding of things. We usually appreciate only half of the cycle of impermanence. We can accept birth but not death, accept gain but not loss, or the end of exams but not the beginning. True liberation comes from appreciating the whole cycle and not grasping onto those things that we find agreeable. By remembering the changeability and impermanence of causes and conditions, both positive and negative, we can use them to our advantage. This particular paragraph has really helped me navigate in my personal life as well. For example, whenever I'm going through something difficult in my family, or if there's something that's bothering me, I keep on telling myself that this dark phase in my life isn't permanent. It will cease to exist very soon, and then something better will come out of it. And even if there is something very positive and uplifting in my life, I tend to not stay attached to this feeling, because I know that it won't be positive or good forever. It will soon cease to exist. That is one way I try to help myself and not feel the extreme of emotions. Whenever you feel an emotion to its extreme, then the drop feels very difficult to handle. So I try to tell myself to not be carried away with this feeling, both positive and negative. And living alone has also helped me become more self-aware. I have noticed that I have become more observant, and also I have become my own therapist. Whenever I have something that I'm worried about or I have questions, I always find solutions by myself, within myself, and it has always worked. I know that we have to share our concerns with someone else, like our family, to feel better, but living alone has made me rely on myself, because I know at the end it's me who has to deal with it. So that is one of the perks of living alone. You become more self-aware and you know that you can get through anything that comes your way. Growing up, there was always a confusion in my mind about Buddhism, because in Buddhism, it asks you to be selfless, always put someone else first before yourself. For example, even when you pray, you have to first pray for all the sentient beings around you, and then next your immediate family, or someone closer to you, and at the very end you have to pray for yourself. So that is being selfless. That's what I was taught growing up. But the older I grow, I realize that not caring about yourself and always putting yourself the last doesn't really help the cause, because if you are not at your right state and condition, then you can't really help others as well. As the Lord Buddha himself has said, we always need to find the middle path. You can't go extremes on both ends. You can't be very selfish as well, then you become narcissistic. And you can't always look out for others to the very extreme, because then you start neglecting yourself. So you always have to find the middle path. That's what I've learned. And these are the thoughts that come to my mind whenever I'm cooking, whenever I'm doing something very insignificant. These thoughts come to my mind and I always write it down, because it helps me become a better person. I would really recommend you guys to get this book, and I think it is available online as well. Something that I've also started recently is meditation. I try to meditate every morning for at least 5 to 10 minutes. It's really difficult because I've just started. My mind goes everywhere, but I think that's what meditation is for, to bring your mind that's wandering around to one single spot, and that helps you compose yourself. It is difficult, but I feel like with time and practice it gets better. I try to focus on the middle of my forehead. I imagine a white light in the middle of my forehead, and I try to focus on this light. This has helped me direct my thoughts to one single spot. Let's see how the meditation goes, and I'll keep you guys updated. Last night I was watching a show on Netflix. It's called Listing Melbourne. One of the characters, he used a stick and he lit the stick and he went around his room and his house, and he was saying that the smoke helps ward off negative energy. And I realized it's very similar to what we do in Bhutan as well, or in Buddhism. We always use some sort of a sa or an incense stick, and we believe that the smoke that comes from the sa or the incense helps to get rid of the negative energy in our space. It was a pleasant surprise to see that Western culture also believes this. I'll also give you an example of something that I went through. Nothing serious. Last time I was looking for a TV. I wanted to change my TV because my old TV is very bulky and heavy as well. So I wanted to change it to a smart TV, and I got a smart TV from Facebook. Most of the things in my place are second-hand. There are very few items that I bought new. The rest are what they call pre-loved. I was looking for a new smart TV in Facebook Marketplace. I actually reached out to one person who was selling the smart TV. I fixed the time on which I was going to pick it up, and everything was settled and decided. And just 10 minutes before the pickup time, that person flaked and removed the TV from Facebook Marketplace, saying, "So sorry, something came up and he can't sell it." And he priced the TV $150, and I was willing to pay for it. I was really upset and angry that he said he can't sell it anymore, because he waited till the very last minute to say that he can't sell it, and in that way he wasted my time as well. As I said earlier, I always try to use the things that I've learned from the book in my real life as well. So I thought that, okay, nothing is permanent. So this feeling and this anger and everything will also die down very soon, and that everything happens for a reason. And the very next day, a different seller was selling the same TV, the same size, but for $50. So now the new TV that I have is that $50 TV, which is a smart TV as well. So what I told myself, that everything happens for a reason, because imagine that I bought the $150 TV and the very next day I see that the same TV was listed for $50. That would have made me regret my decision and also made me feel sad. But whatever happened, happened. And I'm glad that it happened, because it saved me some money. So the next one is, now that I'm talking about self-care and what I do to take better care of myself, it's a good way to transition into skincare, because skincare is one of the things that I do to make sure that I take good care of myself. I'll just show you a few of the skincare products that I use. And the first one is Innisfree Green Tea Seed Serum. It has hyaluronic acid as well. It really helps you cool your face. What I feel is it also helps soothe any kind of inflammation. If there is a pimple or if you have a sunburn as well, I feel like this really helps soothe your skin, and it helps your pore as well. This is one of my favorites currently. And the other one that I use every night before sleeping is Retinol Intense Eye Cream. It is by Somi by me. I feel like it helps my under eyes. The other thing that I use, which I have also shared in a couple of my YouTube videos and also TikToks as well, is this face powder, loose powder. My face is oily, so this loose powder helps me feel confident throughout the day because it helps reduce the shine and makes me not look very greasy. And the last one that I'm going to talk about is this Rare Beauty blush. I don't use this very much every day, but sometimes I feel like my face is too pale, so I use a little bit of it on my hand and then tap it on my cheeks so that it brings a little bit of color back to my face. That's all about my skincare. Most of the things that I say right now might seem very random and out of place, but so sorry. This is what I've written down on my notes, and I feel like this is how my mind works because everything comes to my mind and I try to write it down to just organize it. One fun fact that I learned yesterday was, you know how whenever you write a letter, you say a capital letter or a small letter, and there's another way you can say it as well, uppercase and lowercase letters. Do you know why it's called uppercase and lowercase? Before modern technology, they used ink, a stamp, and paper to print something, right? The capital letters, which was rarely used, was put on the top of the arrangement, and the small letters, which was mostly used, was placed at the bottom of the arrangement. That's why the capital letters were called uppercase and the small letters were placed at a lower level, so that's why they were called lowercase. That was something that I learned yesterday, which I found very fascinating. TikTok and YouTube has really helped me in becoming more comfortable with my speaking and also helped me get better opportunities. Because of my recent TikTok and YouTube video on PTE, I have gotten new projects and I'm currently working on one. So I would like to thank everyone for your support once again. I had a meeting with people who wanted to collaborate and work with me because of the TikTok video they saw. So I am forever grateful to TikTok and YouTube. Now that I am done with my master's degree, I have a little bit of free time for myself. I have started going to the gym. The gym is just 3 minutes away from my place. The idea and the thought of going to the gym always used to scare me because I felt like people would judge me. But then I realized nobody really cares about you when you are in the gym. They are in the gym because they want to focus on themselves and get better at what they want to do. I keep on trying to tell myself that not really be affected by what others might think about you. So this is one thing that I'm proud that I started doing recently. One other thing that I always wanted to do and made it come true was this one. You might be wondering what this is. It is just an album of all the currencies that I have. And yeah, this is basically everything. I want to keep on growing this collection. And yeah, let's see how far I can go. Because I didn't have a lot, I put all the Bhutanese currencies here. Let's see how far it goes. I want to go to New Zealand, Japan. In 2025 and 2026, I want to travel more so that I can also vlog and make memories and also fill this album. Hope this comes true. Now to move into the topic of technology, the new things that I've added in my space. All the devices that I own currently is a part of the Apple ecosystem. I have an iPhone, I have an Apple Watch, I have a MacBook, and recently I also got an Apple TV. Apple TV is just like the Google Chromecast that I used to use. I recently switched to Apple TV and this has been the best decision because it makes it very seamless for my phone to connect to my Apple TV and also my MacBook. I think that's why people say once you are an Apple user, you can't go back because you are so much pampered, or you know how easy and seamless it is, so you don't want to go back anymore. Also, I bought an Apple HomePod Mini today from Facebook Marketplace, of course. I got it at a much cheaper rate, and before this HomePod Mini, I was using my JBL speaker and I thought it worked very well. The sound was pretty good as well. But after I used this HomePod Mini, I compared it side by side. The sound is so much louder and it fills the room very well when I use the HomePod Mini compared to JBL. The Apple ecosystem is something that really draws me into it because it makes your space very comfortable and seamless. The more Apple products that you have, the more easy your life becomes. I don't know, am I buying in the Apple propaganda? Am I falling for it? I think so, but it really works for me. So that's a win-win for both of us. I consider myself technically sound. I like using and trying different types of technology. Although I'm not very technically sound in terms of the mechanical aspect, I feel like I always find a way to make it work when it comes to technology. And finally, the thing that I'm going to talk about in this vlog is my favorite restaurants here in Canberra and my favorite types of cuisines. Let me talk about my favorite cuisines. There are a few of them. My favorite cuisines are Indian, Korean, Italian, and recently I've also started liking Japanese food. And to talk about my favorite restaurants here in Canberra, my favorite Indian restaurant is Spice Affair. It is located here in KC. My favorite Korean restaurant is the one located in Gangalan. That's the only thing I can think of, to be honest. My favorite Italian restaurant is located in the Canberra CBD. I forgot the name, but I will make sure to put a picture here so that you know which one it is. And I recently tried a Japanese restaurant here in Gangalan, and it is called Ikigai. It was quite pricey, but it was very good. One other restaurant that I really like is Lolo and Lola. I think it translates to grandfather and grandmother. It's located in Watson. It's really difficult to get a booking, so if you want to try it next time, make sure you make a reservation. That's all for my video this time, and although it wasn't very exciting, I didn't have a lot of things to show you guys. Thank you for always tuning in. I actually enjoyed sharing this because it makes me feel like I am opening up more to you guys and makes it even more personal. Thank you for supporting. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.